Hi, I'm Tracy. I'm going to be making a front-facing wreath that I came out with. I hope you like it. This is what we're going to do today. Her. Isn't she pretty? This is a wreath. We're going to be doing something similar to her today. So, let's get started. So we're going to need this ring, which is 14-inch ring from the Dollar Tree. The mesh that I'm going to be using. I already have some cut out already. And we're going to need scissors. Maybe the wire cutters in case you need to cut something. And something with the blade on the end for cutting out the face. So, y'all want to know how I do mine. So I'm going to do mine to show you how I do it. I put 2 rolls together and then I'm just going to cut it. There's no measurements really required to this. Just basically rolling it a little bit. I'm going to do a few here. Just rolling it. Just basically going to just mix a few rolls, and that's the beginning part of it. These things get a little tangled. So I'm going to make 4, put it on the ring so you can see how I do mine. And I'm sure everybody is going to do theirs differently. So, I'm using twist ties, the white ones, because it really doesn't matter, it's not going to really show. So, I'm going to let it form a circle, and I'm going to put the twist ties on here. So, and I'm putting 2 together, because that's how I like to do it. You said you wanted to do it like mine. So I'm going to do mine. There you go. So 2 together, not doing a whole lot, just put 2 together, and maybe 1 little twist. I put 2 together when I'm rolling them up because it's just easier than doing 1 roll and then doing the next roll. So we just do 2 together. Less stuff to do. All right, so I'm gonna do 4 and put them on. So you see how I put them on. And then I'm gonna put all the rest of them on that's already pre-made. It's my first video. Y'all try to be patient with me. I'm downstairs in my living room. All right, this is my 14-inch from the Dollar Tree. So, the way I put them on, I use the first 2. The first 2 rings. I start with the first 2 on the bottom or the top, it doesn't matter. 1 or 2 twists. And then I'm gonna go to the next one, 2, and the next one will go on top. So you're doing 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. And the way I do mine, I like to do mine upside down. It's just easier for me. See? 2 on top. We're using 2 spaces. 2 spaces. 2 spaces. Don't worry about the middle. So, because I like to do mine from the bottom because it's easier. Since I just did the bottom one, and then I'm going to do the top one. And I'm only going to do 2 twists because it's not gonna come out. And then I'm back on the top. Two twists, nothing fancy about it, just 2 twists. Just put them together. You know, they don't have to be too close, just enough to give you that look. This is the way I do mine. Everybody does theirs differently. So I have all of them made up already, and I'm gonna put them on. Just because you're doing 2 rolls at a time, it's gonna be a little bit faster to do. Just do 1 up using 2 rings, 1 down using 2 rings, and that's it. And to me, it seems better under the bottom, but if it works for you on top, it works for you. Once you're done, you can leave some comments on the below in my YouTube page, and I will answer them. If not, you can message me on Facebook, and I will try to answer your questions if you didn't quite get it. See how it's looking already? How full it's looking in a matter of a few minutes? Because we don't want to be all day with this mesh. We want to get this done so we can make our money. So, you know, I'm doing 2, up, down, up, down. Since I got 1 here, the next one will go here. And then 2 little twists, see? On these 2 and these 2. That's how I do mine. And then we're gonna go to the next. We're gonna go back down the bottom, and we're gonna do 2. Up and down, up and down. And if working under the bottom seems faster, you can also see what you're doing. See it? Up, down, up, down, up, down. 2 and 2. 2 and 2. And y'all said y'all want it like mine. So I'm gonna do it like mine. I'm not really I just wing it and just do it, and it just come out like that, and y'all just like it. That's all. I'm not really doing a whole lot different. So when we finish this, we work on the face. And I hope when y'all all finish, y'all be able to, everybody will be able to make these beautiful front-facing Diva Wreaths with real pictures. One up top, one down the bottom. because we want to create a nice circle. Keep my phone charged. All right, as y'all can see, I'm almost finished. Now I'm gonna put more on here, and I'm gonna put more on here, but I'm gonna leave this space out because I like to add flowers in the front. If you can put the mesh in the front if you like, but I just like to add flowers. If you don't have flowers, you just add some more of these in there. It looks a little flat because I'm flattening it, but I'm gonna put some, fluff it out later as we go. Too loud. All right, so we just did down. Let's do up again. Now when you finish, we do a little fluff, fluff, fluff. As far as the stragglies, we're gonna cut them because I just one long roll, because that's all I had left was one long roll. So it was cut in half, so it makes it fray. So you just trim it, and then we spray it with Mod Podge Sealer. Almost finished with this. Did y'all have it yet? You put in one of the wires. You got 2 and 2. I just put 2 on here. Put 2 on each ring. 2 on each one. And I use 2 rings. And then I go under the bottom again, and then I add another ring, another piece of mesh on the next 2 down here. And you don't have to twist it too much. All right, so I'm gonna add one more here, and then I'm gonna go to the other side. Oh no, I guess they're on this side. All right. So now we're going down to the bottom. A few more to go, and I'm done with that. Okay. Let's do this one down here. One up here. See how they're doing it? I'm using 1, 2. And give it a little twist, a little tug, because we want to create that circle. And don't worry about not having nothing in the middle, because you don't need it. By using 2 roller pieces at a time, it goes faster and it covers up better. See, it covers up better. This might be my last piece I'm gonna put on. Put that in. There you go. You know, fluff, 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 fluff. Don't worry about the trimming. We'll do all that later. All right. You see this little space I left here? This extra space I left? That's where I'm gonna put her face at. So, before I put her face there, I'm gonna try to decide what I wanna do with her rest of her parts. So, I found these boxes. At my craft store. They $10. $10. So we're gonna use pink. We're gonna use pink. And since this is gonna be the bottom of her face, we're gonna start. I'm gonna figure out where I want to put my flowers at, because you want her to be pretty. I'm gonna put it there, but I'm not gonna glue it. I'm just gonna put it there. Because you glue it too fast, and then you be upset. So I'm gonna put some flowers here where I want them. And yes, I'm using pink with some little greenery in there. I'm gonna put one in the middle, one here in the middle to cover up that space, so it can give you a little bit of, make it look like there's something there, but it's not. You see how that's coming out so far? And at the bottom of her face, I'm gonna put one. I'm gonna put one right here. I like that big piece. I'll put one here. Put one there. On the side of her face, and then I'm gonna put one on the side on this side of her face, because I think that'll be cute. You gotta look at it and say, okay, that's gonna be cute. Oh, okay, these two close together. Let's move them, because everything has a place. Let me look at her. I take my time. I look at her and make sure it looks right. Make sure the flowers are turned. Because when you got her up, you gotta make sure everything is good. So this is where her face is going. These are her flowers. I got some of these flowers, like little, I guess little buds or something, what they call. So I'm gonna cut some pieces off and put it and stick it in there, so I can know where I want it, because I don't glue nothing down until I'm finished. So I'm just gonna Let's stick it in there. It's just a little piece of flour. Just to make it look extra. A little bit of extra. That's all. It just makes it look cute. So I'm gonna cut these piece by piece. These flowers, I got a whole lot of them from Michael's. They came in one of them $5 boxes. I'm sure everybody should know about them $5 boxes, because when you get them, you're always gonna need to use something out them $5 boxes. So I'm gonna add these pieces here, just so, because this is a floral design. So I wanted to look floral. There you go. So I got all my little floral pieces on there. And I also bought some of these butterflies. I just thought they was cute and be different from my other ones. So I'm gonna add a little butterfly in there. Just a few, just to make it a little bit different. You know, those springtime is coming back up. And it's probably better to get rid of this here wintertime already and start thinking about springtime. Look at the flowers, the butterflies. They're so pretty. Very pretty. I think I only probably need 3. I think just maybe 3. Okay, so this is pretty much done. I'm gonna move this to the side and we're gonna work on her face. I'm sure that's the part y'all want to know about, because I'm sure y'all already know about the laying and placing mesh. That's the easy part. All right. Here's my girl. There she go. Now, this picture is 11 by 15. I have a 7210 wide format printer. 7210 wide format printer. So I print this whole picture out on a 7210. Now I'm sure all y'all know, when y'all hear 7210, y'all think about sublimation. This is not a sublimation picture. This is just a regular picture that's printed out on my 7210. Because I already have a sawgrass that I use for my sublimation. So once you print your picture out, and if you don't have a wide format printer, you can always go somewhere or ask one of your friends who has a bigger picture to print this out for you. And it's printed on cardstock. So this is a heavy duty cardstock, like an 80-pound cardstock, because typing paper was a little too thin. It still works, but it's too thin. So we're gonna cut out her face, cut out her head. You don't need to leave all her hair in there, because there's really no need for all the hair. So I'm just gonna cut it down around her ear. That's what I'm gonna do. Cut it around her ear. You know, to create the silhouette of her face. And then I already started cutting around her face. So I'm gonna start cutting here where the top of this part of her hair at. And it's optional if you want to keep the eyelashes. Sometimes I keep it, sometimes I don't. To me, it all depends on the look you're going for. She's a diva. She don't need all that extra anyway. I found her on Google. She's pretty. So I'm basically creating her eye, cutting around her eyelashes. Only because I like it that way. Later on, you can take a marker and fill it in if you don't like the white parts to show. So I'm cutting her whole face out. And this is just a regular picture I found on Google Internet, on Google. So I printed her big size face, print it out, and then I'm gonna cut all around her eyelashes. Carefully. All right. The next thing that I do is I'm going to cut her face out, because we can't just use a piece of paper. We just can't use paper on the Diva Wreath. Back in the last year, everybody was using paper. Maybe that's it. I'm using cardstock. So now that it's cut out, I'm gonna Mod Podge her to the board. So I'm gonna use them. 2 pieces of board, because I don't want to cut my paper up under the bottom. So I got my Mod Podge, a whole freaking gallon of it, because I use a lot of Mod Podge all the time. All right, I got my Mod Podge, so I can paint her, glue her face down. And pour a little bit in the cup so it won't make so much mess. You don't need a whole lot, because you don't want to spread it too thick. I'm using the foam brush to brush her, the back of it. And it doesn't matter if you go over the board. We're not gonna use the whole thing. Anyway, so I'm gonna put some nice thin layers on the back. And try not to take too long for this spreading process, because the Mod Podge dries pretty fast. So I'm gonna paint her face. Just put some glue back here. You know, nice even coat. Don't make it lumpy, because if it's lumpy, it's going to show through her face. And we don't want her face to be lumpy face. We want her face to be pretty. Pretty face. All right. So I think I got all of it glued to all those parts that I need. Y'all wanted to know. I'm letting y'all know how simple it is. I'm glad y'all like my stuff. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn it over, and we're gonna stick it to the board. I'm making it closest to the bottom, so I don't have to make extra cuts. And then we want to rub her face. Rub her face, because we don't want lumps in her face. Now if you're missing some, you can always go back and add some around the edges. It's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna add some. Make sure we don't miss nothing. Okay. I think I got it all. Sometimes I put Mod Podge on the whole thing to give it the shiny, glossy look. But you don't have to. That's your choice. So now that's done. While that's drying, make sure it's flat now. Y'all see her? I don't know, I guess y'all see everything upside down, but it's all glued to the board. See how it's all glued down to the board now? So while that's drying, I'm gonna do her lips. I usually use the matted lipstick, but I don't have pink. So I want her pink to match for her flowers. And I'm gonna paint her lips. Because you gotta have her lips and stuff matching with some of the other stuff. So I'm just gonna put a few coats on her lip to make her lips look really pretty. That's how I change the lips. So it's not a bunch of different girls. It's the same girl with different lip and eyeshadow color. You should just take your time with this part and make sure it looks nice. That's all. Here's a dry. It's okay if you mess up. Just use your fingers and wipe it. But catch it while it's still wet. Y'all liking these pink lips, don't y'all? I know y'all do. So, painting her lips. Giving her a nice coat on the lips with some pink paint. You might have to do it more than one time to give her a nice popped out lip color. That's if you want lip color. You don't have to choose lip color if you don't want. I just like her lips to match with her flowers. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and I'm gonna start her eyelash. Now, I ain't no artist or nothing, but I'm gonna give her a little bit of eyeshadow. We want her to match her lips and eyeshadows. You know how it is. Lips and eyeshadows. That's what we want. Matching. say, this don't really have to be perfect. A lot of us will be covered with the flowers. Okay. She's looking pretty already. All right. That's her lips and her eyeshadow. It's pretty much almost drying up now. Add a little bit more in there. Make it more defined. Yes, this is what I do to these pictures to give her a different look. Somebody asked me, did I draw her face? No, I printed her face out on the paper. On paper. I wasn't gluing it to the foam board at first. I was using my glue forge, and I put wood in the back. So a lot of them have wood in the back to make it last a lot longer, because foam tends to bend. All right, let me leave that alone before I mess up her eye. All right, so that's her eyeshadow. That's her lips. I'm gonna add a little more to her lips. I let it dry and then rub it, because I don't want the paper to start buckling. It's buckling a little bit because of the wetness of the glue, the paint. All right, so that's done. Hey, make a mess of them. So now, let me pull the rest of this glue back, because Mod Podge's not cheap. All right, so let's make the shape for her face now. Move that stuff out the way. So I'm using this razor on the stick. I'm gonna cut it out now. And the foam board in the back of it is just so I'm gonna cut the table. Okay. And when you're cutting, cut inwards. They give you a cleaner cut when you cut inwards like this. When you cut inwards, it gives you a cleaner cut than opposed to cutting straight down, because then you won't have to worry about trying to cover them little white edges up that you're going to see. But if you cut inwards like this, you'll get a better cut. Not so much worry about that. All right, let me cut this part, and we're gonna cut inwards with inwards, like going under the foam board. And make sure you don't try to use scissors for this, because that's tacky. Look what I did. I messed her lips up. OMG. See? You can't really touch this paper when it's wet. What? Never said I was a professional. Let's try and fix it now. No more touching the paper Hey, we don't want to mess up her pretty face. All right. Nobody knows. All done. All right. Let's finish cutting. If you feel something wet, try not to touch it too much. All right, almost finished. I'm cutting this around here now. And we want to put it on this foam board. Oh, I forgot her eyebrows, her eyelashes. All right, let's go and cut them out. All right, let's see if I got it all out. You know? It takes time. Be patient with these things. It's only foam board. Okay. So that's her face. That's her head. A little jagged around here. Let me see if I can fix it. Rub my hand on there. Fix it. You don't want it to look choppy. You don't want it to look choppy. Like her face is choppy, choppy, choppy. So what I'm doing, I'm rubbing my fingers around the edge, just smoothing it out so it won't look choppy. You don't want it choppy. When I'm all done, I'll try to add another layer to her face. See her? She's on the foam board. Big old face with the pink in it. Yay, she pretty. You see the little bubbles in the lip? Once they dry, I can push it down back in place. It's because of the lipstick is wet and that made the paper bubble up. Once I finish everything, then I will spray her face or put Mod Podge on it. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. So let's go. That's how you do her face. That's how I've done all her faces. That's my little secret. Print the picture out and paste it to the board. That's it. And y'all thought I was doing something. I got my butterfly. Got my thing. All right. This is what we're going to do to the board now. We're going to move these things over because we only want to use this middle part. This part here, where I didn't put the mesh at, is where I'm going to do it for the board. And we're going to just put it in there. Stick it in there like that. That's it. Stick it in there. Push it farther to go. You see how it's pushed in there? All right, now to hold this board on, we need to use something, which I didn't bring with me. So I'm gonna use the scissors since I already have it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna punch a hole. I'm gonna punch a hole right there in her head. Nobody gonna see it anyway. I'm gonna punch another hole right here in her head. And then I'm gonna use the same twist ties and put it in the hole. And that's how I'm gonna lock her to the ring. I'm tying her up against the metal ring here because we want to secure her. We want to make sure she don't fall out. Don't want her falling out. So we put it in the hole, tie it up. And it's still not that stable, so I'm gonna make another hole, but this time I'm gonna put it right here. And don't worry about the hole and if it's too big. It's inside the board anyway. So I need one there and one on top. And then I'm gonna put this one here and under here, and I'm gonna reach underneath and I'm gonna twist it to the board. All right, so there she go. I got that part all together. Let me cut some of these little stragglies off. That's the only thing about cutting this mesh in half, it makes a mess. So I got my flowers in place where I want them. And I'm gonna get my hot glue together. Got me a nice hot glue gun. This is my first tutorial, so be patient with me. So, got my hot glue gun ready. Gotta turn it on. It's gotta, see, light is on now. So that'll only take a few seconds because I'm gonna start gluing my flowers on and my butterfly. But before I do that, I need to put some flowers in the front of her face. Let me decide, let me see what I want. Maybe these flowers. Ooh, these things are sticking in my leg. There's mesh pieces. That's why I had this on my leg, to keep it from sticking in my skin. Because I feel like something pricking me with these sweatpants on. So, all right. So, this flower is pretty. Oh boy. That's this flower. So I think I'm gonna stick that right there in the front. Let me just push it under here, under this ring somehow, just to stabilize it until I put the glue on it. Put her right there. You like that? And then I can just, since I don't want to stay under there. Yeah, we don't have to. Let me just let it sit there because we gotta cover this. We're gonna cover that. And once we cover that, then I'll stick a flower right there. Maybe stick one right here. What y'all think? Pretty? Because we gotta mess with it. We gotta mess with it. So, just basically these are foam. And they made them out of foam board. Very pretty. And they don't cost that much money. It's a cheaper alternative than getting those real flowers. So, all right. Hot glue is ready. Hot glue is ready. Let's test it. Yeah, it's ready. All right. You gotta look at it and make sure everything is where it needs to be. Don't want nothing too close to something else. I think it's gonna be cute. Y'all ready to glue down? Let's glue down. And when I tell you this hot glue, this new one I have, it's so hot that you don't want to get this on your hand. So I'm just gonna put some glue in there, stick it and leave it. Add this in here somewhere without burning myself, because hot glue ain't no joke. So that's gonna be that one. This way you take everything off one by one, because you already know where you want to put it at. So basically we're just putting placement right now. There you go. All right. So that one going into that. Don't get no glue in your face. The flowers, we're gonna do this part last. We're gonna get all these pieces on here. Just stick some glue in it. I hope this video is helpful. You know, I'm just sticking it in there. Take this one off. Oh my gosh, if y'all can see the smoke coming out this, y'all were not going by it, because I didn't know. This foam is easy to stick to. That's all I'm doing. I'm securing this part now with this hot behind glue. Trying to burn my skin off. My glue sticks. Hey, they longer. All right, did I get them all yet? Okay, I got them all. They gotta dry. Let me glue my butterflies. You stuck in there? Glue the butterflies on. Butterflies. Just gonna make it look a little extra, that's all. It's only about 3 of them, and it's stuck anyway. Little glue. Alright. So I hear the secure. Let's figure out how to stick these flowers. I tried to put it inside. I didn't want to go under there. So I'm gonna do here, 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 here. Oh, strip it. And just stick it up here. And hopefully it stay where I want it. So let's add some Add some under here on her head. All right, all that's in place. So I guess I should do a little greenery. Do I have any more? Okay. Only got one left. I thought it was supposed to be one for each flower. I guess not. Guess we can't get that lucky, huh? I found another one. Alright, so I'm gonna give her some green. Because I think some green will look nice next to her eye. See, you gotta use your own judgment when you're doing these things. And put one there, one on this side, sideways, since her face is sideways anyway. So I'll put that one sideways. Give it a little moment to dry. Looking nice so far, y'all. I think I'm gonna add another pink rose on top of her forehead and top here with the space that's missing under the butterfly. All right, so that might be dry. So let me add some nice amount of glue on here and stick this in here. Hold it for a second. It's really smoke coming out of here. Y'all can't see it. But this thing really has smoke coming out this hot glue gun. Like, yo. I gotta hold this because this foam takes a minute to dry. Alright, that might be dry. Let's put some on this one. And I think my Diva girl is almost ready. Look at that. Y'all don't see the heat? Tell me y'all don't see that heat. Whoever made these things trying to burn the skin off us and put us in the hospital. All right, so they're all done. So you can always, if you want, you can add another one here. I'm gonna leave that like it is. I don't know about that one. I gotta stand up and look at it. Let's see if I want to put another one on the top. There. I think one up there is cute. What y'all think? Should we put some more flowers down here? I mean, whatever you feel is right. I mean, it's only this 520. What do you think? Should we go with the flowers down the bottom? That's just pretty. Is it dry yet? I'll push your lips down. What do you think? Should I add flowers down there? Because I don't have any more silver mesh. I think so. Let me see. Try and get a little bit off of this roll. This might not be enough to do nothing with. You don't want to overdo a face anyway. So you probably only need a little piece. That's a little piece to do something. It should be a little wider than that. Let me see what I can do with this. because we don't want to do but so much. Yeah, I guess that's not going to do much. You stick it right here for the rose, and that's all. Well, you got her shoulders out, so you don't have to do but so much. Your shoulder is out. Piece here in the corner. I mean, you gotta come up with your own little idea what you think is pretty, because we don't all think the same. So this is where you get all fussy about it, because you want to do stuff. So I think this little piece right here would look nice. Right there. And that's all I'm going to do. Leave our shoulder like it is, spray it, and make her shoulders look cute. They don't have to be a whole lot to give you the look that you want. Just don't touch that glue. OMG, look at the bubbles coming out there, Joe. Look, bubbles. Yay, smoke. You see it yet? Y'all still don't see the smoke? All right, let's stick this on here. I'm gonna hold it and let it dry. Gonna get her earring for her ear. Hey, how about a butterfly for our ear? So she's a butterfly queen. Hey, that's a pretty. Who said you can't wear butterfly earrings, huh? Yeah. All right, good. Let's go. Let me turn this off. That junk too hot. All right, I think that's it. This gonna stay. That's gonna stay. Oh, wait a minute. Don't forget your little earring. Not your earring. All right. There she go. Is she pretty? You think she's pretty? I think she's pretty. Ain't we missing anything? I don't think so. I think enough is enough. 1, 3, 6, 7 flowers on her head. On her chair. I think that's good enough. Keep it leaving. All right, now let's go to the back, because now that our Diva is finished, you want to clean her up. You don't want her to have things in the back. This is the back of her. See the back of her? You don't want it to stay like that. So let's move her out the way, and let's make a back for her. I wonder if this is too small. All right, so this is gonna be our back. We don't have enough of the that's the back of her. All right, this is going to be her back. We're going to close her up for sale. Just the right size. Let's do a little trace in here. Trace this circle, because you don't want to sell nothing with all them sticks and things hanging out. All right, that's the back of her. Let's use that razor again and cut the back out. And the piece on the bottom is just to make sure I don't mess up the table. It don't have to be perfect. And then use it. All right, there's the back of her. So we're gonna put that right here on top to create a nice, clean look for sale. I'm gonna take some of these pieces and stick it out here. Use some of the pieces that we already had. Not too many of them, just a few of them. Where your other piece at? Right there, right there. And put a hole in it. Let's start with this one. Put a hole. And push that in there. You see how I pull it through? And then I'm gonna use the same twist tie that's on there and create it. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of hot glue on top, because we don't want it to come out of just rip it. We don't want it to rip. And you don't need to do too many, just a few. Doesn't that look nice and clean back there? And ready for sale? Because last thing you want to do is send this off to somebody with the whole back out. All them pieces hanging out all over the place. So it's better to do it this way. Or either buy something to put on there. You can buy something, you don't have to use these, but it's cheaper and you already got it. Add a little hot glue. Put a hole here. It's the last one. And since there's no see the back? It's all nice and even. Put a little glue on that one because we don't want it to pull out of place. Because it's only foam board, it'll pull out of place. Not quite dry that, but I'm pretty much done. It's not puffy. It's actually kind of flat. That's how I like it. That's the way I like it. Pink. Look at her pink lips. She's really a diva. All right, so. Like and subscribe. If y'all like and subscribe, I will make some more. Like and subscribe, and I will make some more. Is she pretty? Is she pretty? Stay tuned. Her hair is nice and round. Everything looks nice. Everything's in place. I'll cut some of the stragglers off. Spray her with Mod Podge spray. And there you go. She looks good. There are my other ones. You got her. You got her. And her up there. And look at her. Look at this Miss Lady right here. She ready for church or something. There you go. All right. Like and subscribe. If y'all do, I'll make more.